Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 30th day of September 2020. Well, we're going to try and speed through this because I'm going to have to reboot, but I'm uploading the Esoteric Influences video to YouTube, so I can't. So in order to do this, I'm gonna try and get through this really quickly before this thing freezes on me again. And I'm so sorry about that because I think that it's an important reading here. Right now, I'm going to go backwards today, though. We're going to talk about the runes first. On this 3 energy day, we have a 3 energy rune. It's the 12th rune of the Elder Futhark, Yera. It's Kenaz, forward and reverse, so the light of spirit informing both inward and outward today. And I think that it's allowing transformation to happen. I think we're transforming perceptions. Lots of truth that's been coming out. If you watched the debates last night, you saw this man in all his abusiveness and no plan, no nothing, just abuse, abuse, abuse. So if you were triggered by it like I was, I won't be watching anymore. I don't need to, but I won't be watching anymore. What we have is rubious energy that's being expressed. It's a misuse of power. It's considered evil by geomancers of old, although I don't really consider, although I suppose it can be. I'm kind of bothered by the word evil, but really it's just extraordinarily negative. Not just either or thinking, not just overreaction, but a complete misuse of power that the energy has over others. And we need to shift away from that and our response to it and come up with something else. Because what we've really got here today, our reading consists of the Four of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Six of Swords. So we're talking Earth element and Air element. That the Fool is now going to be dealing with as he leaps takes his leap of faith through the abyss and into form, where the magician and the high priestess will then create what he is. At this point, he's not a he, he's actually an it. It's genderless, he's androgynous at this point. But it's just easier to say he. His knapsack's over his shoulder. The sun is shining down, so the light of spirit is guiding his path. His little dog's by his side. He's holding a white rose of purity as he takes that leap of faith with perfect love and perfect trust through the abyss into form. But it's undeveloped potential, just like our perceptions really are. Undeveloped potential. We can choose the rubious side or we can choose the light of spirit. If we choose the rubious side, we're really looking at the Four of Pentacles here, with the king turning his back to the kingdom, being focused on his own wealth, his own self-dealing. He does not care about the rest of the kingdom. You can see the line of demarcation here. Now, if he were facing the kingdom, that would be a different story, but he's not. He's facing away, displaying all of his wealth, because that's the only thing that's important to him, right? That's his four energy. That's his structure. That's his foundation. So what's the other side of that? It's taking the spiritual journey that we need to take against all odds, against harsh conditions caused by the king and his rubious energy. We can choose to transform, to take the undeveloped potential of the Fool and transform our perceptions, the air element here and swords. You see the young family huddled against the cold. Mom and the child are huddled against the cold, protected by their values, protected by their perceptions, protected by their beliefs. No matter what the trials are, no matter what the tribulations are, they're willing to endure them because on the other side is something new awaiting them. You can think of it as a journey over water, but honestly, I think that what you're talking is a balance between intellect and emotions. The passions that can be stirred up by an oppressive dictator, an oppressive king with rubious energy. Taking that leap of faith that there's something better, taking a new direction, getting all of your beliefs and your values and what you hold dear in order, and taking that leap of faith that the Fool counsels us to take and to go for something new, possibly in unity with other people. A different path forward, in other words, as we hit the second wave of the virus now and things are spiking again. And you have the CDC director. This is all you have to do. If all we would do is for the next 3 months wear masks whenever we're with anyone else, no matter where, if we just would wear a mask when we're around other people, that we could contain this in a much better way than we have. Might drop the what is it? It might shave 100,000 deaths off of the death toll if we did something like that. Had we done that early on, how many people would have died? Would we have contained this by summer? If we had taken and put the effort into protecting the kids at school, would we have been able to open schools more safely than what's happening right now? The economy has to go back to, people have to go back to work, but we all have to agree that we have to invest the money in doing it safely. And that comes from the federal government. It doesn't come from business owners. It can't. They don't have it. Not the kind of stuff they have to do. We all have to agree on what that is, right? Masks, not just face shields, masks. You want to put a face shield over it? Fine. Masks. Worn over the nose and the mouth. You see, if we had had that guidance, but oh no, he doesn't care about that. He can't see it because there's no empathy in the king. So now we have to take a leap of faith with the Fool, and we have to go in another direction. And away from the rubious energy, the evil energy, the misuse of power energy that's been affecting everything. And move forward in higher self energy, which is the 6. 4 establishes a foundation, but what is that, right? Is it one that's self-dealing in service to self, or is it in service to others? Because that's really what this is about. It's moving towards something that's better. With nothing hidden, because everything's out front, right? You see all the swords are right there in front of them. So as they approach their destination, everyone waiting sees who they are. We don't know who this guy is, although we're beginning to find out, now that we know 20 years of his tax returns, who he owes. Who does he owe the $421 million to? Who does he owe that to? And how will he pay for it? Is that why he wants to stay in office? An office he never thought he would hold? Does he see an opportunity here? Oh my gosh, he sees one every weekend. Can you imagine charging Secret Service who have to protect him to stay at his resorts that he chooses to go to? He doesn't have to go. He could stay right there in the White House. He could stay right there and work. But oh no. Every weekend, off to play golf, off to stay. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to do the job, and yet he expects to be reelected. He doesn't care about the kingdom. He cares about himself. I've been getting that a lot lately, too, in these readings. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Or the cards are trying to tell us something here, which is what I think. But, you'll have to determine that one for yourself, I think. But the Yera energy literally aligns with the 6 of Swords today, where we're moving that catalytic energy through our perceptions, allowing them to transform, allowing the light of spirit to inform how we see all of this stuff. Do we see it from the standpoint of full spirit awareness and in service to other people, in service to the collective consciousness, in service to the unity consciousness that is our fundamental truth, our fundamental reality? Or are we going to allow the rubious energy to dictate what that looks like? A misuse of power and authority and control to dictate whether or not we survive a virus that we could have. Much better than what has happened. But again, he's only about himself. Doesn't care about the people. doesn't have a plan, doesn't have anything at all, just has nothing but abusive comments. That's all he's got. So if you were triggered by it, don't watch him. I'm not going to. I'm not going to watch anymore. I did the one. I'm not sure how I survived that. But any woman who has been a survivor of spousal abuse, you know what this is. Any woman who's ever been gaslit by a significant other, or anyone at all that's been gaslit by a significant other. I shouldn't just say women. But anyone who has, you know what happened last night. That was gaslighting everyone. Not just the people in the debate hall, not just the candidate, no, not just his opponent, because he can take it. He knows what's happening here, right? But he gaslit everybody. And that's just what he does. That's what this guy does. In order to stay in power, in order to stay in control, he gets everybody upset. And so at the bottom line of this, we have to take the leap of faith into our own source presence, into our own higher self-awareness, and move into a different direction here. Shift the perception in another direction. Because at this point, we are, as they say, the ones we've been waiting for. The Savior is not this man. The Savior is us, together, collectively. To turn our back on him the way he's turned his back on us, and move forward in another direction where we can determine our own fate instead of it being determined by this guy and his rubious misuse of force energy. I mean, enough's enough, right? Take the leap of faith. Do it in perfect love and perfect trust. Your family awaits. So, anyway, I guess that's it before my stuff freezes again on us here. Have a good day, and we'll talk again tomorrow. And be good to yourself. Be good to one another. Take that new path. Wear a mask if you go out and around anyone at all, whether you're inside or out. Do that for all of us, please. And do it so that we all survive. And blessed be.